Alfred Adler, the Austrian medical doctor, psychotherapist, and founder of School of Individual Psychology once said, "Empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another." It is ordinary for someone who spent most of his entire life studying the psychology of human beings to be able to conduct such a definition for such a feeling. However, it doesn't really seem like a day-to-day activity for a 7-year-old. My cousin, Hamza, now an 11-year-old boy, was able to alter my whole emotional scale just 5 years ago. At that time, it has only been a couple of days since my father got unjustly killed. When I enter my room, finding my cousin on a phone call with someone, as a normal person, you would ask, "Who is it with you on the phone?" But you don't really see it coming from a 7-year-old boy when he says, "I don't want to answer you." Maybe your mind will take you away and you would think he was doing something wrong, God forbid. But then it turns out he was doing the most righteous thing. It was his dad on the phone, and he couldn't tell me it's my father because he knew I lost mine 4 days before that. He unintentionally taught me what empathy might look like. He saw it through my eyes, he listened to it through my ears, and he felt it through my heart. He knew that only one bullet shot by one person to penetrate the neck of one human being can simply, very simply, take away the most innocent shade of your life. When you type in the word empathy in the English dictionary, it gives you the following definition: the ability to understand and share feelings of another. And when you type it in the Arabic dictionary, it gives you the word ta'atuf. And when you type it in the color palette, it gives you a rainbow. And when you type it in human language, it gives you a story of a person. Muhammad Fakhr, a family friend, he was diagnosed with cancer years ago. Due to the poor medical facilities in Egypt, he had to travel to the States to get professionally hospitalized. Fakhr was in a group of 6 when he first got diagnosed. 6 different people living 6 different lives, but had 6 different hearts that could all merge in awe of one. Each of the 6 booked a flight to the US and stayed with a friend for a month, making a total of half a year, 1 month for each. Their empathy was not in sharing the disease with a friend, rather in sharing what is shareable, moments. Having empathy towards someone is not depriving yourself from a bar of chocolate because they haven't had any. It is sharing that bar of chocolate. And maybe you would think being empathized with people around you is a privilege or a VIP booked first row chair, but trust me, it is not. And maybe the lack of empathy is why it has been feeling like a burden for you to survive anymore in this world, or to scroll down your Facebook feed, or to reply to the kept on seen messages. You might even think that empathy comes in one form, human to human, but it doesn't. It also comes in human to animal. I remember that one day my father came back home from work. And while parking the car, he found a dog laying in severe pain in front of our house. In all of the 18 years I have lived, I have never witnessed a stronger empathic example like the one I witnessed on that day. My dad was able to sense the pain of the dog through his own senses, that he stayed all night with him, trying to make passing away just a little bit easier. Maybe it explains why the cat he fed every day kept crying on our doorstep when he was killed. It was empathy. Now let's talk reality. The reason behind many disastrous events that happened in the world might be us. Yes, us. This world is divided by boundaries, but boundaries only divide bodies, not souls. And for that reason, we are responsible to have empathy towards people dying. We are responsible to share empathy as long as we are able to. And that is the reality they never taught us in schools or universities. And that is the reality that hurts. Another thing that hurts that we never really anticipated was science. Researchers have discovered a specialized group of neurons that lie exactly here in this area. Can you go back? in this part of the brain. It's called the anterior insular cortex. These cells enable everyone to share compassion, which means everyone is able to mirror other people's emotions, to feel their fear, joy, or pain. And this also means that we are all capable of empathy, that we are all capable of changing carbon dioxide to oxygen and empty lungs to full ones. When empathy was mentioned in religion, it was not mentioned, for example, Quran. You may take a minute to read the verse. Okay, the minute is over. It was not mentioned in a form of a definition or a word, but rather in a set of actions that show you how having empathy towards someone else is like. First of all, you deeply feel them. It's almost logical. You are one person and you divide it into two. And second of all, you make them feel accompanied and not alone. And thirdly, you shower them with kindness, respect, and mercy. You use sentences like, you have every right to be sad, instead of, it's just an exam. Don't make them feel pathetic, but rather empathized. Say, I appreciate your feelings, in lieu with everything passes. They know everything passes. Physics pretty much explain that. But until it passes, all they truly need is empathy. Almost everyone in this hall is suffering from something that you have the medication for. Something that has been keeping them up for days, or maybe even causing them to have massive suicidal thoughts or panic disorders. In this world, we are the doctors, those hurt are the patients, and empathy is the medication. If you keep all the medication to yourself, you and the patients will both die. In science, they say use it or lose it about brains, but I'm standing here tonight saying this about empathy. Use it or lose it. Now let's talk reality. There is one important question that we all ask ourselves every day. How to? How to have empathy towards other people? First of all, you have to kick your ego off the scene. Inhibit the feelings of superiority. They need you now, but you will later need them too. And trust me when I say that. Put yourself in their shoes. Ask yourself questions like, how would I feel if I were in their shoes? Because this will help you understand what they are going through, and it will enable you to digest and relate to what they are feeling. Once you have a general knowledge about their situation, you can go on by peeling off layers and investigating what lies beneath what they show you. Because in this way, you will be able to relate what they feel to your previous experiences, and if not, you can imagine, how would I act if the same things happened to me? Offer them your support. Make sure they feel accompanied and not alone in whatever they are going through. Ask them questions like, how do you feel about that? Tell me more. What's on your mind? This will help them widen their awareness about their situation and will provide them with techniques that they invented on how to go through what they are going through. And lastly, this is really, really, really important. Emotional detachment. If you don't practice emotional detachment, and if you skip this step, you will make matters only worse. It is really important that you differentiate between what they are feeling and what you're feeling. You can repeat, these are their feelings, and I won't let their feelings be mine. Because only in this way you will truly be able to help them. Never, ever, ever, ever choose who to have empathy towards. It is not a customized service you are offered. It is a reality that you ought to consider. Whether they are black, white, Latin, female, male, disabled, or abled, or healthy, or sick, or young, or old, or gay, or straight, or bisexual, or transgender, or transracial, etc. They are all humans, and they deserve to be empathized just as you do. At all times, or at most times, empathy is the one necessary thing to go through the day, month, or even year. Things that aid in our relationship with other people helps us too, because humans are naturally social creatures. And for that, empathy is the togetherness, the warmth on a snowy day, and the lip balm for dry lips. But don't share lip balms. This is Farah Abdulnasser, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk.